Good morning. Thanks for joining us today and welcome to Telemundo Center, the epicenter of the Hispanic world. I trust that you and your families are continuing to stay healthy and safe during these very unprecedented times. Certainly, we've had some challenging last couple of months as we have all been trying to figure out the best way to move our businesses forward. We know that these have been trying times for all of our employees, our community, and our industry. And our top priority has been to keep our employees and teams safe, but also continuing to serve our audiences with news and entertainment across all platforms. There's no playbook for what we have been facing, but we have full confidence in our collective ability to identify the best path forward, to adapt, and to learn from this unique moment in time. As you know, NBC Universal's upfront presentation and our traditional Telemundo celebration were postponed until later in the year due to the coronavirus. But we wanted to make sure that we kept you abreast of all the activity across NBC Universal Telemundo enterprises. So, in lieu of our regular NBC Universal's upfront presentation, today we will share with you some of the important and innovative things that our teams have been doing to serve our audiences and to help advertisers and marketers effectively continue to reach Latino consumers. While the effects of COVID-19 came unexpectedly and presented many challenges, we also saw the very best of our teams come together. Consistently, we have been inspired by the ability to pivot, to adapt quickly, to innovate, and to come up with never-before-seen solutions. I have been inspired by how this crisis pushed us to uncover and deliver new ways of working. Telemundo was one of the early companies to immediately implement work-from-home policies. We paused our productions to ensure that our talent and crews were safe, while also finding creative ways that allowed for us to offer the highest quality of programming to our viewers without disruption. Our teams quickly developed new options for our clients to continue to reach our audience with all of their messages. Promptly, we took some very immediate steps. First, we launched the very first virtual television concert, regardless of language, Concierto en Casa. It was a first-of-its-kind music special that brought together families across the country to enjoy musical performances and appearances by top Latino artists such as J Balvin, Luis Fonse, and Alejandro Sanz. Second, as the stay-at-home realities began to set in, our audiences were expressing their desire for content that was uplifting and family-oriented. So we launched En Casa con Telemundo, a daytime show where viewers could enjoy positive and entertaining stories that inspire and motivate them during these very difficult moments. And third, because the speed of information was critically important at the moment, we added a late-night newscast with Julio Vaquero. It was completely dedicated to covering the virus right here from this award-winning news set. In times of crisis or uncertainty, our network is more than a form of entertainment. Telemundo becomes a lifeline for the communities that we serve. Our most sacred responsibility is to be there for our audiences, to inform and equip them with trusted and accurate news and information. I cannot think of a more important moment in our lifetime where the work we do has more of an impact than today. That's why we immediately doubled down on our news content and expanded live coverage, from early in the morning to late at night, to more than 12 hours of continuous live coverage and entertainment news per day, Monday to Friday. And we also got behind Latino-owned small businesses. Latinos own 1 in 4 small businesses in the United States. These businesses fuel the economic engine of our country, providing essential products, services, and jobs. So to support them, we launched Nuestros Negocios, a nationwide campaign that taps into Telemundo's network, local stations, and digital platforms, also with the support of our sister network, CNBC. We feature small and medium-sized Hispanic-owned businesses that were being impacted by the pandemic, and we highlighted their services in order to help them sustain their businesses throughout these very challenging times. Bottom line, Telemundo has proudly led by being there for our community. Companies are not defined in times of convenience and comfort. They are defined in moments like the ones that we are in now. This crisis has brought us closer to our audience and to our clients, and we will continue to listen to their needs and adjust as this environment keeps evolving. So with that, I'll toss it over to Peter Blacker, who will give us an update on the Latino consumer, our streaming platforms, and revenue innovations. Gracias.
Thank you, Monica. U.S. Hispanics have shown how resilient they are time and again through these difficult moments, and continue to be a young, vibrant market critical to our country's economic future. Just recently, based on a national mood study conducted by NBC Universal, Spanish language respondents are more optimistic about the coming weeks than English language respondents. And now, more than ever, the resiliency of the Hispanic market is shining. With 2020 being an election and census year, it is incredibly relevant to recognize the economic, social, and cultural influence of Latinos in the U.S. Currently, with a population over 60 million strong and $1.7 trillion in spending power, U.S. Hispanics have a Latin GDP that would equate to the 6th largest in the world. They're an economic force fueling the growth of our country. Hispanics are 14 years younger than non-Hispanic whites. As a matter of fact, 1 million Hispanics will turn 18 every year for at least the next 20 years. 1 million Latinos turning 18 yearly is roughly as if a city bigger than San Francisco was added each and every year. That makes Latinos in the U.S. a driver of any youth efforts today and for decades to come. Culture also continues to be important, with 75% of Hispanics older than 18 currently speaking Spanish at home, and 73% of U.S. Hispanics agreeing it's important for their children to continue cultural traditions. With size and scale and a median age of 28, it's no surprise Latinos are super streamers, over-indexing across video on multiple platforms. The majority did not transition into the internet, they were born in it. U.S. Hispanics are technologically connected and digitally savvy and at the forefront of media consumption. Their time spent with media continues to grow, and they have become voracious omni-channel consumers. Average weekly time spent among U.S. Hispanic adults has increased 6 hours year over year compared to the fourth quarter in 2018. And it's directly driven by time spent on digital platforms. It's been estimated that Latinos in the U.S. could easily represent more than 40% of total future video usage. At Telemundo, we're the preferred choice and voice for Hispanics, and our lead extends across all platforms. As a #1 Spanish language network with the highest total engagement, Telemundo has a unique ability to connect with the full spectrum of Hispanic audiences across the U.S. and Latin America. We're currently the #1 broadcast network in social engagement, regardless of language, and our 124 million global fans generate over 33 million monthly average engagements across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're also #1 in video on demand among U.S. Hispanics for the 9th consecutive year. And with a community of more than 10 million subscribers, we're the #1 broadcast television network on YouTube. Our full episode Telemundo app has more than tripled its streaming levels, with users spending more than 2 times as many minutes as they did the previous year to date, driven by record-breaking properties like Señor de los Cielos, La Doña Season 2, Pasión Prohibida, y Operación Pacífico. And based on the audience's voracious appetite for our storytelling and content, we're constantly innovating. Recently, we launched 3 new Quibi shows in English and Spanish. And for our sports fans, Telemundo Deportes live-streamed EA Sports FIFA 20 Stay and Play Cup across our digital platforms to great success. Of course, we're particularly excited to talk about our relationship with Peacock. Peacock launched with over 3,000 hours of diverse Hispanic content. The platform will feature original dramedy, Armas de Mujer, starring Kate del Castillo, as well as premium titles such as 100 Días, Betty New York, El Barón, Preso Número Uno, and will carry topical news in English and Spanish, as well as sports highlights. Before I close, I'd like to echo what my colleague Linda Yaccarino, Chairman of Advertising and Partnerships at NBC Universal, had to say yesterday regarding NBC Universal's One Platform and Telemundo being at the heart of NBC Universal's connection with Hispanics. One Platform gives marketers the power to reach all audiences everywhere across the full NBC Universal ecosystem. NBC Universal's One Platform gives marketers one way to reach all audiences everywhere with stories, scale, and impact. Hispanic consumers are critical for marketers looking for growth, and with NBC Universal's One Platform, NBC will open its doors to its full portfolio, enabling partners to reach Hispanics wherever they are. Now I'll pass it on to my friend Ronald Day, who will take you into our omni-channel world and share with you some exciting programming news slated for this fall. Thanks.
Thank you, Peter. During these challenging times, as part of our commitment to our audiences, we continue to develop our franchises and invest in groundbreaking premium original content. I want to start with our digital evolution and full transformation into an omni-channel network. Digital consumption, without a doubt, is among our main focuses and top priority. It is clear our audiences have changed the way they consume media. Latinos, especially the younger generations, are digitally fluent and spend more time watching videos on smartphone, using apps, or interacting on social networks than the general population. We have evolved with them to ensure we can provide the content they want on the platforms they want when they want it. A digital-first model ensures that we create digital extension for our programming from the get-go, so our content translates organically to digital and live in the omni-channel world. Now, let's move on to our programming lineup. Directly from the set of our original production, 100 Días para Enamorarnos, I'd like to start by announcing the return of the worldwide phenomenon Exatlón Estados Unidos.
Lo pidieron y estamos de vuelta. El show
Exatlón returns to Telemundo with new and improved obstacle courses and parkours. The unique family-friendly sports reality competition has smashed ratings records across the world, and it is a co-viewing favorite. Next, I'd like to highlight the return to our network of two successful franchises. First, Enemigo Íntimo, or Secret Enemy. In Season 2, a brother and sister duo living on opposite sides of the law will face off in a fight between family and justice. Second, we're bringing Falsa Identidad, false identity, back for its second season. This season will continue to tell the story of two strangers fleeing their past, assuming new identities, and passing themselves as a happily married couple to escape their enemies and survive. Now, to what I am the most eager to talk about, our new Primetimes originals. I'm so excited to announce that we have acquired the rights to a remake of what I believe to be one of the most successful novelas ever created, Café con Aroma de Mujer. Produced by RCN Colombia exclusively for Telemundo and originally written by Fernando, the renowned writer of Betty la Fea. Café con Aroma de Mujer returns 26 years later, adapted for modern times, and I am pleased to announce that the international star William Levy will be the main lead. Next, I'm proud to announce a Telemundo Global Studios production inspired by the international hit Donde está Lisa. With a working title Donde está Frida, this new series recounts how the life of a very wealthy family, the Pons family, is forever changed when their 16-year-old daughter disappears the night of her father's birthday party. And as we announced during NAPTI 2020, I'm very excited for our next original super series from Telemundo Studios, Malverde, El Santo Patrón, led by the internationally renowned Mexican superstar Fernando Colunga. This thrilling mega production will trace the life of a young boy in 1870s Sinaloa, Mexico, who becomes a legend and practically a religious icon. Lastly, we have a new family-friendly show that will air live from right here at Telemundo Center, El Domo del Dinero, the Money Dome. This new reality show will be action-packed, and teams will give their all in exchange for an opportunity to reach the desired Domo, a grand prize. And it's the viewers' votes that will decide the outcome. Before wrapping up, I'd like to talk about a division that is more crucial than ever: news. As Monica mentioned, informing our community is a responsibility that we take very seriously. Hispanics deserve the most reliable and objective information, with coverage that is transparent, impartial, and factual. Especially in these historic times, our audiences across the country has responded by fueling double-digit growth for all our properties this season. According to Nielsen, Noticias Telemundo is the only broadcast evening news, regardless of language, on track to deliver 2 consecutive years of growth among total viewers and key adult demos. Earlier this year, we launched Decisión 2020, a nationwide initiative to inform and engage viewers during this election cycle, positioning Noticias Telemundo as the undisputed leader for the 2020 presidential elections. Lastly, I could not finish without making a mention of our sport properties. We are looking forward to covering the Tokyo Olympics next year in partnership with NBC Sports. And we are super excited with the upcoming CONCACAF qualifier for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar. In closing, we would like to thank you all for watching. I hope you found this update very informative. We look forward to giving you a more detailed programming presentation later in the year. Thank you and be well.